Have you ever been lost? I mean, not just physically not knowing where you're going, directions to a place, but I also mean just in life, feeling lost, like maybe without a purpose or spiritually lost. And maybe it's because you're waiting for an answer to a question you might have, a choice. And I was thinking about that, and it reminded me of a conversation I had with a neighbor. And we have a mutual friend, and she asked me how our friend was doing. And I didn't really know how to answer, so I just said, I think he feels lost. And her response was, aren't we all? And you know what? That just melted my heart that she said that, because she identified with the lost in that statement. And I just guess, in a way, I kind of felt like my friend, she actually, well, let me just say, she was a beautiful person on the inside and on the outside. She has a beautiful family, a beautiful home, a faithful husband. She has good standing in the community and a strong faith. And so for her to say that, I thought, how humbling and how kind and merciful. And it reminded me of my reading that I'm doing in my Bible with the Israelites, and they're wandering still for 40 years. And I often thought of them as being lost in the wilderness, but they're actually not lost. They're following God. But every now and then they get impatient and decide, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to worship some gold calves. I'm going to complain that I don't like the food. And I'm just going to do it my way. And how many times do we do that in life? And in my own way, I think that's kind of the way life is. We're on a pilgrimage on earth to get to that promised land. And there's times when I have direction and I'm following, God and making great choices and being disciplined. And then there's other times when I get impatient and I wonder, well, what do I do? And instead of taking the time to sit and be still and to pray and do the things that I know spiritually I should do, the disciplines and the spiritual life, I decide to forget it all and take a walk through Target, or do another workout, or binge on Netflix, and do my own thing. And not that those things are wrong by any means, but to really get to the promised land and to develop that character that I want to have, because I really think, well, I know that it didn't take 40 years. It wasn't a 40-year trip physically to get to the promised land. But I think God took his time with the Israelites because he was developing their spiritual character to be ready to go to the promised land. And in our world today, we don't really see that. We live in a fast-paced world where everything is, fast food, microwaves, Instapots. You don't even have to open a book anymore. You can just open your phone and Google something. So our world is not really our home. We're just on a pilgrimage as we're heading to the promised land. There's an author, and her last name is Rothschild, and she has a quote that I liked, and it says, "Earth is short, heaven is long." And I thought, so well put, because you know what? You get to be my age and you're like, where did the time go? But you know what? When you're younger, you just think, oh, the days are endless and the weeks go long, and finally it's the weekend and then the week again. But you know what? We just have to realize that we're all lost until we're found. And there's a Bible verse that I love, and it's Luke 19:10, and it says, "For the Son of Man came to seek and save the lost." Seek and you will be found. Seek and you will find the answers. Knock and the door will be opened. What are you seeking? Do you feel lost? Could it be because you're following the wrong things? Could it be your choice to be lost? I don't know. Those are just some questions that I ask myself when I start to feel confused, a spirit of confusion. That is of the world. The Lord has clarity. And you know, there's a verse that I just love, and it's Jeremiah 29:11, and it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you a great hope and a great future." Those are God's plans for you. So as you pilgrimage through this world, may you seek him first, and the doors will be open to you. So if you're lost, you can be found.